Alright, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome and a beautiful good evening to the lot of you. Maybe also a little bit of a good afternoon. We're quite international here. I hope you guys are having a swell weekend so far. We have returned with the Tavern Brawl Part 2, second part, second edition. Goes right back at it again against Theos Tavern. You might recognize some of these faces. Old organizers, old players, a couple of new faces as well we're going to get to enjoy here. Kicking it off relatively soon. Until then, we still have a couple of minutes left to go. That said, let's go ahead and have a little bit of a look at the team roster for Goats Revived. That's gonna be participating here today. Now, you know him, love him, might recognize him. It's a main tank diff on the tank role. Very classy gamer we have seen pop off in the past. Going to be looking to quite potentially bring the Reinhardt here. Goats Revived, of course, being renowned as a team that has in the past played quite a lot of goats, so naturally, the Brawl kind of lends itself to them. Curse as well, formerly known as Senju, a little bit of a hot gamer, on the Tracer. You might have seen him on the Zarya quite a few times as well. Unlikely that's going to be happening today, though. That said, you might also recognize him from several of the former GOATS events, as well as, of course, the relatively recent Nemesis Showdown, which he did manage to win with Team Madeto. That said, Taxi, of course, also a familiar face, have seen him around quite a few times. New up-and-comers of GOATS Revive going to be Shale and Verit on the support role. Going to be very interested to see how exactly they're going to be fitting in with quite the established roster. And that said, in the coaching spot, it's going to be Coach Soraya. You may know him as Goats Revive's your very own and very favorite Brig OTP. Not going to be playing today. Instead, going to be chipping in with some very wise words of wisdom that are hopefully going to help Goats Revived transcend. Now, that said, let's have a little bit of a look at Theos Tavern's very own roster. And, you might not necessarily recognize as many of these. Of course, you do know Coach Theos. Not really too surprising there. However, Levanta, actually, quite frankly, a huge fan of Soraya, has sort of switched sides. Here's going to be a little bit of a grudge match for him to try and prove to the coach that he got what it takes to make it onto the main team. That said, of course, for Theos Tavern, it's going to be Temple on the ball pick. Temple, if you do know the EU Temple, that's not going to be him. This is the illustrious NA Temple, quite potentially on the ball here today with, of course, Levanta Death Sword going to be on the DPS for Theos Tavern here tonight. As for the support roles, that's an interesting little sound bit that's going to be playing in the background. Would be nice if we could not listen to that twice. Thank you very much, production. Greatly is appreciated. That said, Landrell as well as S4 are going to be picking up on the support here. Princess apparently getting swapped out for Landrell. Going to be very interesting to see how well that's going to be working out for them. So Theos Tavern a little bit on the alternate roster here, swapping out quite a few players. Let's have a little bit of a look at what we got in store for you today map-wise. There's going to be quite a few of them to go with. Of course, first and foremost, there is going to be Control getting played here. Not entirely sure which one that is going to be just yet. That said, afterwards going off to a hybrid, then a push, and then an escort. Past that point, of course, could still be another Control, could still be another hybrid, and later on, a push is sort of a tiebreaker. How exactly that's going to come through remains to be seen, of course, since this is a first to 4. So depending on how evenly matched these teams are, we're going to either have quite the night on our hands, or either way, really quite the night. That's why we're going to be going for at least 4 matchups. It said looks like the players have found themselves in. So far, just going to have to wait and see once everybody comes around to be ready, and we're going on to an Arctic Peninsula. It has been decided. First control map, of course, going to be the new one. That is quite nice to see. And now I'm just going to need Crow to actually get me into the game, so I will be able to see what is going to be going on in this matchup. Now, is that going to be possible? It remains to be seen. Not 100% certain just yet. As we're just going to have to Wait, and there we go. Beautiful. Now we're going to be able to spectate this quite illustrious roster. A couple of spectators, a couple of coaches, so ready to prove their support. Very happy to see that. Maybe even a swap out of two. We're going to see if that's going to be something that's going to happen. That said, of course, in Arctic Peninsula, very, very new map here. Gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out. That said, let's hop right into the matchup. And Arctic Peninsula gonna be the name of the game here. Go Survive versus Theos Tavern. Let's check out what they're gonna be rolling out as. Apparently, still gonna have to, ready up that match, ready up the custom game, and that will mean that now they got 20 seconds to figure out what exactly they're gonna want to end up playing. Go Survive. Of course, we already saw main tank if instantly select that Reinhardt if he's going to be sticking with it. Kind of gotta see, gotta find out. As for Temple, did not seem too keen on the Reinhardt matchup, though. Of course, we're going to see if that is something they're going to prefer. So hopping on with main tank def right off the bat here. You can already see him on the Reinhardt as well as Texi, of course, on the Junkrat. We do know him as a little bit of a Junkrat menace. It has to be said. Curse this time around on the Symmetra, I'd imagine, just for the TP out of spawn. Nothing really too exciting in that sense. As for Shale, going to be on the Ana with a Baron on the Lucio here. So very classy sort of rollout coming the way of Goats Revived. As for the lads over on Theos Tavern, we're actually going to have Temple here on the ball as predicted. Levanta on the Reaper with Desert Shadow on the Trace. Going to be trying to take that duel against Curse, which of course is going to be quite the challenge for any player. Mercy's Feet, very interesting name on that. Zenyatta there as well will be, of course, on the very respectable Zenyatta with S4 on the Ana. Now let's check him out. Levanta, quite aggressive positioning, trying to wear down main tank. You can see that will be worthwhile. Nice charge coming through out of main tank dip. Already putting the pressure on the Temple. Will not really be going low as he does have quite the extensive health pool. However, low HP across the board here for Theos Tavern. Mercy Speed already picked up and taken down by Curse. He certainly seems to have a little bit of a thing for the supports there. Takes down S4 as well. Levanta taken down now as well. Traded out for Verit, though main detective is eventually going to be going down here. Still advantage clearly with Goat Survive. A little bit of a Tracer duel here on the flank. Curse though will be deciding that one for himself as well. Clean triple kill coming through for Curse, who certainly once more establishing his dominance. Very interesting enough. Coming back from spawn there, will not be looking to assist his Reinhardt at all. That said, Curse still zipping and zooming around the backline, waiting for the next engage to come through on the back of Theos Tavern. Theos Tavern, interesting enough, very nice backline positioning out of Temple. Will be rolling for the engage. S4 here getting resurrected. Still main tank if apparently all the way in the backline, trying to get a couple of swings in. Not too sure what he's doing there. Nice stick coming through. Beautifully done by Curse. We'll be able to take down S4 yet again, and that's going to be a rather clean sweep. A little bit of a contest coming through out of Temple, but again, will not be able to do much more than just dance around the point for the time being. Does get dislocated here and eventually taken down, and that's going to be a rather unfortunate delay for Theos Tavern here. 50% almost already on the clock for Goats Revived, and I mean, they do have the Shatter available, the Nano Boost just about coming up, even with the Tire. There's going to be 3 ultimates available to them, going up against essentially only the Minefield on the Temple. Not really looking too great of a Theos Tavern's ult bank here. Temple's still going to be able to deploy that, especially with the Pharmacy coming in now. It's going to be a lot more pressure here onto a backline with really little hit scan potential to take care of that Pharah. Very nice engage onto Goats Revive's backline there. Pressure mounting out of Levanta, trying to find that eventual pick. Texi, though, going to be the one to fall here. Levanta taken down by Curse now as well. Mercy's Feet trying to disengage. Will be able to do so for a little bit longer. Beat now getting dropped as well by Barrett. Will be trying to touch that point. Shatter into the backline onto Temple with a Nano Boost coming through as well by Curse. A lot of ultimates getting committed in this fight by Goats Revived. Whether that is going to be enough to decide it. Desert Shatter still going to be able to pick up Shale. However, he will fall himself to main tank diff. Now, as retaliation, the Tire going to try to come through, but a little bit much of a commitment out of Texi here, who's really only going to try to go for Levanta or Mercy's Feet. Does not seem he will be able to reach either of them, though. Sticking to try to come through, will not be able to land out of Curse just yet, and Thus, it is up to Theos Tavern to touch the point. Temple just going to be rolling right through. Will be ensuring that that overtime is going to start ticking just around a second. Sticky not going to be able to come through out of Desert Shadow either. Still, though, Shale going to be taken down by Levanta. Nice early pick coming in here with Desert Shadow. Now being taken down by Curse as well. Main tank is going to fall. Apparently, Theos Tavern now might be able to flip this point. This engagement having come through for the rest of Go Survive. The fight truly going their way. Ferret, though, somehow still making it out alive despite being all the way within the enemy's backline. Levanta not quite catching out the Lucio just yet, but Desert Shadow will be happy to oblige with Levanta now picking up Curse. Gonna have to be a little bit of a reset here on the back of Go Survive. Not looking too hot in terms of ultimate economy. Don't really have anything available at the moment where really Theos Tavern have reestablished themselves. They do have 3 to 4 ultimates here. However, what they do not have is additional time bank. Nice pickup on a Curse coming through out of Levanta, really getting that additional benefit from the high guard. Main tank diff trying to swing his way through, doesn't really manage to land up, but with a pick on the Texi, there's no DPS line remaining for Go Survive, who now have to back off once more. Nice nade coming through, unfortunately not going to be enough in order to keep main tank diff alive there. Levanta really getting the value on the back of that pharmacy play. Now putting through a little bit of additional damage, not quite able to find them yet. Stick attempt, not going to be able to follow through either. Curse all the way in the backline on a bit of a bender. So far being split from the rest of the team. Looks like Theos Tavern, though, have been able to really lock down the point, at least for the time being. 4 ultimates roundabout still available. Main tank diff having swapped over onto the Diva. Minefield not going to get deployed as well as the beat in a rather defensive fashion. Quite interesting to see that Barrett would be committing the ultimate there. Main tank diff just trying to clear the field of the mines. Has to be a little careful. Curse eventually going to be taken down by Desert Shadow, though will make it a double, actually. Beautifully done out of Theos Tavern. Tracer Levanta now going to go for the barrage as well. Fourth been found, will die himself, but it matters little at this point as Theos Tavern, after a little bit of a rocky start, seem to have secured the first round of the first map. Pretty good comeback there. I mean, really have to give a lot of credit to Levanta in particular on that Farah pick. Farah pick really working out particularly well for Theos Tavern. They are really, really well played for sure, just continuously keeping up the pressure onto the backline. And Go Survive not really able to, not really able to reestablish themselves in the matchup, not really able to find their way back into the game. Even though they went up 99%, they were not able to decide another fight for themselves. That was a little bit of an issue, just trying to take on a pharmacy with a Tracer and a Junkrat. Certainly not an easy task by a long shot. Curse thinking a little bit about that Echo pick here. Apparently will be swapping back, though. Barrett not going to be on the Mercy either. Does swap back over onto the Lucio. So it would seem that they did consider, you know, trying to go for the counter pharmacy play, have opted not to, and again, makes a lot of sense since actually Theos Tavern not going to be running that Farah. Instead will be bringing out Levanta Symmetra this time around. Instantly, the D-Mac coming through, very nice anti, but again, massive mortality field out of S4 here, going to be able to keep him alive. Curse, though, not going to be able to find the first pick with the takedown on Desert Shadow. Very keenly done. Will not be contesting Levanta on the low ground. Has to be careful, though. S4 taken down as well. A 2-for-0 trade so far, especially with a Reneg coming through for main tank diff. That's going to be a significant advantage now. Gradually continuing to mount for Go Survive. Main tank diff in the backline, trying to find the Mercy's feet. Maybe a connoisseur, but he will not be getting those just yet. Texi still with a nice double kill. Curse finding Levanta. Essentially only Mercy seeds still remaining in the matchup. Everybody's trying to get their hands on him, but eventually will fall to Curse as well. Very good pickups for Go Survive coming through here with gradually building ult bank, though. So far it is Levanta that is above and beyond the pack with 82% towards that Photon Burst. Certainly quite an annoying ultimate to have to deal with in most cases. As in the meantime, talk about annoying things to deal with. Temple is trying to dive upon the backline, has done quite a good job so far. Mortality field already committed, taking him down, but so is Texi. Good trade of a DPS player in exchange for a mere ability. That set point already flipped as well in favor for Theos Tavern, with Shale now being taken down by S4. Will be able to find Ferret as well. S4 popping up on that Baptiste, finding the double, now reasserting himself onto the high ground as Curse gets taken down by Desert Shadow. A little bit of a cheeky setup here coming underway as well by Levanta, who has already gotten his ultimate up and running. We'll put a TP around as well. So very interesting defense now having been set up here with Main tank diff apparently just looking around the high ground, making sure everything is clean and clear. Nice, ooh, nice trap as well. Sleep Dart coming through onto the temple. Will unfortunately not be able to take him down just yet. Texi falling prey to a cheeky setup out of Levanta. Will be taken down. Levanta now dropping the photon barrier as well. Does get the peel out of Mercy. Speed bomb gonna get deployed here. Still main tank diff taken down on the back of the DMAC. Will mean no value on that self-destruct as Shale now falls as well. And it looks like Theos Tavern are really establishing themselves within this matchup. 50% and counting already, with both support ultimates still underway for them. And not too much different to what Goat Survive have in their ultimate pool. However, they do also have the Tire. The question is who and what are they going to be finding with it, with an immortality field as well as a Suzu readily available. Texi here going to kick up that Tire. Interesting charge coming through on the temple. Will be able to succeed with that. Tire still going to go onto a little bit of a journey there. Main tank diff in the meantime has taken down both Desert Shadow as well as Mercy's Fate. Levanta going to fall prey to that Tire, and at this point the point flip should very much so be assured. Goat survived around about 30% now for them. Still do have to contend themselves with quite the significant advantage so far for Theos Tavern here. Very keenly done. Still 3 ultimates being retained. No support ultimates utilized out of Theos Tavern either, though. So far, both teams a little bit conservative in terms of ultimate. Levanta now also having swapped over to the Reaper. Maybe don't put a little bit more pressure onto main tank diff on that Reinhardt. Does drop onto the low ground for a little bit of a cheeky attempt of capping the point here. Ooh, Texi though, absolutely obliterating Desert Shadow. Beautifully done. Main tank diff now trying to go for a little bit of a chase. Does swing down Mercy's feet easily enough. Fire Strike, double Fire Strike coming through. Main tank diff with the double. Make it a triple with the pickup on the temple coming through. A little bit of speed, a little bit of highly potent drugs, and that's all it takes for main tank diff to get the triple. Very handily done out of the man on the Reinhardt. Still 75% around the board for both teams here. This was not quite yet coming down to last fight territory, but very much so will be soon. Minefield gonna get deployed here out of temple, trying to put the pressure onto the rest of Goat Survived in the backline. Not quite able to find anything just yet. Curse only really gonna be able to get the immortality field here as Varad is gonna get sniped down by Desert Shadow. Now Shale in the backline gonna be under pressure. Shadow though eventually does come through. Beautifully done out of the 60 HP main tank. It will eventually be worn down here anyway. And just like that, it would look like it is gonna be Theos Tavern once more, able to flip the point here. Curse completely out of position, is now getting chased by just about everybody all the way. The backline does go for the recall, tries to go for a desperate last stand attempt against Levanta. Not gonna be able to wear that down, not with Mercy's feet out and about. Does get taken down by Levanta here eventually, and at 88%, this is definitely last fight territory. No ultimates remaining whatsoever for Goat Survive, which are gonna have to manage to make their way inside of this one. Main tank diff gonna try to hold on to that one. Does get stuck, does go low. Will have to contest point. Doesn't really have much of a choice here in order to stake it to it. S4 popping up the amplification matrix, taking down Texi. First pick already having come through for Theos Tavern. Desperate attempts to touch, will be able to make it. Main tank diff charges, but it is too late, and the first point will go to Theos Tavern. Absolutely massively done, very well played by the lads out over at Theos Tavern. That said, main tank diff still going to come through with a play of the game. Very nice triple he did manage to get here with a nano boost as well as that additional speed boost out of Barrett. Nice double snipe coming through and the charge as well onto the ball. Keenly done, unfortunately not formed. It was not quite enough in order to win this one out, meaning that Antarctic Peninsula, you know, handily might be a bit of an overstatement, but very well taken by Theos Tavern. Both of these did go essentially to 99, with Theos Tavern closing out both rounds within this map. So certainly big kudos going to them. Absolutely massive work. Yeah, really have to give them a pat on the back there. Standout performances. Desert Shadow certainly holding his own against Curse in the Tracer matchup. Levanta, certainly an MVP worthy of such. Did manage to dominate the game with various different picks. Namely, the Farah pick was quite potent, as well as actually the Symmetra also having quite significant impact. Said overall, just a really, really good performance by Theos Tavern in this first round, managing to close out the first round that looked very, very tight, and the second round, which quite frankly was also rather tight, though they did go into that last fight with a significant advantage in terms of ultimates, and consequently, you could argue it was their fight to win, but certainly the fashion in which they did it was absolutely convincing. That said, big shout out to fellow caster Third Will. I hope you're having a swell day and a great time. That said, next up, on the list is going to be a hybrid map. Now, that hybrid map will be decided by the lads over by at Goats Revive. They're going to get the loser's pick here after the first map. And again, I do remember this is a first of 4, so, you know, first map doesn't really mean all that much just yet. Though it has to be said that at least so far the matchup has been quite close. Now, let's check it out. We're going to be moving on to King's Row, also known as Scrim's Row, also known as God's Gift to Map Design. Now, it is much beloved. It is much renowned. Certainly, it used to be a lot more popular back in the day when we did see a lot more Brawl in the sense of, say, a Reinhardt Zarya composition, though there is still a lot of people who hold this map dearly. And consequently, we're going to see what ends up getting played here, because main tank Diff has certainly seemed a lot more confident in his Reinhardt than what we've seen out of Temple. Not in the sense that Temple has not seemed confident in his ball, but rather that we've not really seen him play the Reinhardt any other sort of brawly tank. That said, check these out. Just give him a round about a second to actually start the game out here. A little bit of scouting already going on. And let's enjoy the view. Would you look at that statue? Absolutely beautiful. The Elder Earth, clearly a hotel that probably each and every one of us would like to stay in. No doubt about that. And that glistening water on first point, absolutely beautiful. And how you doing, Skulculator? Thank you very much for the shout out. Do wish all the best to you, and do hope you enjoy the show. That said, let's hop on with the attackers. Get a little bit of a shout out to whoever is getting, or whatever is getting played rather. Desert Shadow this time around going to be on the Echo. So we've already seen Levanta on the Pharah. It has worked out tremendously. This might be sort of a double gunship comp where we could potentially see Levanta roll out with the Pharah as well. Then again, that is going to put a lot of strain onto Mercy's feet, which is going to have to really put in the grind to keep 2 aerial targets alive, especially with capable hit scan players. That would be an issue. Then again, Goats Revive not exactly running what you would consider a hit scan setup with, well, Tracer, of course, technically being a hit scan, but certainly not having sufficient range, where Taxi on the Junkrat might have the potential to find a pick onto a Pharah and an Echo, but certainly will not have an easy time doing so. All right, well, Temple, from the looks of it, sticking with the ball, at least for the time being. Levante here going to be on the Sojourn. Very particular pick, very good pick technically as well. We haven't seen quite as much Sojourn in recent times as we have seen before. Main tank Div trying to take some space, and will be taking Levante with an easy pick up there on the back of a beautiful charge. Still, that is quite the aggressive position coming through out of the Desert Shadow, instantly beset by Curse here. Might be taken down, will barely be dodged here though, as Temple comes in for a little bit of additional support in order to keep the man in the fray. Another charge out of main tank Diff, trying to wear down Desert Shadow, will not be able to do so. Just that additional healing coming through will be able to keep him in the fray. Barrett now getting chased around the ring around the Rosies by Desert Shadow, will be taken down eventually. With Barrett down, it's going to be a significant chunk of healing already taken out of the equation, as well as the speed now having been deprived of main tank Diff, who doesn't really have much of an option but go for another charge. Levante yet again getting charged up by main tank Diff. It would seem he has found his favorite already, and he will be sticking to it, at least for the time being. S4 getting chased by main tank Diff as well now. Not taken down quite yet, though the swings are coming through, and thus he will drop one stick, taken down Sticky. However, not going to be able to come through. Charge now getting delivered as well. Lots of pressure mounting on the main tank Diff. Will try to be kept in the fray. Eventually, though, has to go down to Levante. Curse in the meantime, trying to go find the pickup on the Mercy's feet. Not quite able to do so just yet. Does have to disengage eventually as the spawns are coming in. 4 Goats Revive. However, would not seem they're going to be able to recontest the point in a timely fashion. Consequently, will be opting for a little bit of a reset, a little bit of a regroup, and understandably a rather close second point hold. Now Temple maybe looking for another disengage yet. Does take the high ground here. Very nice positioning out of the man on the ball, as again this Shadow putting through quite a lot of damage. So in general, main tank having a little bit of trouble. What a shatter! Absolute PM there. Nice charge coming through as well, though this Shadow here able to find Barrett as well as main tank Div. The free Shadow coming through will not be able to land on anybody. However, with the trade for their backline, it's going to be interesting to see just how much damage Goats Revive can still cause here before being forced to retreat eventually. Curse trying to find the pickup on the Desert Shadow, not quite able to do it. Goes down to just about 25 HP before eventually being able to shut down Curse. Despite this valiant effort out of Ghost revived within that defensive fight. As for ultimates committed, only really the duplicate coming through for Theos Tavern, who do still have another 4 ultimates at their disposal, almost everything except for that duplicate. And already having come to the main tank, if not going to be doing too much damage to him just yet. However, that minefield might very much so provide a little bit more pressure onto the DPS line. Texi taken down by Levanta will be a big first pick. Main tank though swings down Levanta in retaliation. Interesting positioning coming through the Mercy Suit. We'll have to pop the Valkyrie in order to stabilize in such a hazardous environment. Ooh, will not be able to survive. A little bit of a brazen resurrection, but it was 2 Shameless Barret there. Finding the pickup, another charge, and a main tank dip. And does try to put the squeeze onto Temple, doesn't really get him low, but does manage to snipe out S4 here, taking care of the second and last support for Theos Tavern, which will consequently have to disengage in a timely fashion. Temple here, so with the squeeze on him, does try to escape. Curse, who's still hot on his heels, however, will eventually have to give in and acknowledge that it is not Tracer, but rather Brawl who is the fastest character in the game. Interestingly enough, Curse still going to be able to disengage here. Very aggressive fight taken initially there. Taxi, ooh, actually getting sniped out a little as well by S4. And Squeeze being put in once more. Temple setting up for another engage. We're going to see how long that's going to take him. Does roll right into the back line here against Texi. Not really too much of a threat, I don't want to say. Not with some additional healing coming his way. However, that does mean that main tank diff all the way along in the front line is going to be under heavy pressure. Curse though taken down yet as well. Main tank diff now going to be dropped. That Suzu not coming through in a timely fashion. Unfortunately, will mean a 5v3 situation that is going to see Theos Tavern with a significant advantage. Desert Shadow finding one. Might make that two actually. A little bit of a bully situation there. Temple locking Shell into the corner and gunning him down with a 2-minute time bank. This is looking like third point will be opened up to Theos Tavern, which now can also derive a lot more value from that verticality that they have already had as sort of an advantage with Desert Shadow on that Echo. Curse now swapping over to the Echo as well, however. Going to try and counterplay here. Minefield not going to get deployed. Does split main tank dip from the rest of the team. We'll have to be a little bit careful about that one. Desert Shadow taking out Barret already. Does go for the duplicate onto Sigma. A little bit of a rocking attempt here coming through the Desert Shadow. Does put the squeeze on the main tank dip. We'll be able to eliminate him as well. He's just about ready to have that duplicate flux. Will not even require it. I mean, look at that. Pick after pick rolling through and making another one. Desert Shadow with an absolutely gargantuan performance on the Echo, getting a maximum value out of that duplicate onto the Sigma. Absolutely humongous performance so far, certainly providing a lot of pressure for Ghost Revive. And with 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the victory straight, Ghost Revive really have to turn this one around if they do want to have a solid holding chance. Curse though, going to be able to take down this Shadow. Very good initial pick here. Resurrection now trying to come through out of Mercy's Field. Will bring him back right into that fight. Already we do see the Kitsune Rush still being active. Does eventually fade out here, and eventually so do the picks. Incredible roll through. Temple Levanta and Desert Shadow, they clean right up, finding pick after pick after pick. Just a little bit of the BM coming through there on Mercy, at the back of Mercy's feet as well. That was yet another elimination at a 3-point complete with a 2-minute and 20-second time back. Absolutely massive work from Theos Tavern. Very, very well played. Hats off to them. And again, Levanta, actually I want to say Levanta, but quite frankly, it was Desert Shadow who certainly dominated the matchup with his Echo pick. Absolutely standout performance. Huge limbs coming through on the back of that duplicate onto Sigma as well. Being able to utilize that flux for a late pick as well. Around about a triple kill there coming through, making the advantage, making the room, making the space, getting the picks for Theos Tavern, and consequently completing with a 2-minute and 20-second time bank is actually an incredible feat to behold. That said, Ghost Revive now going to be on the attack of their own. We'll be looking to maybe switch things up a little. Apparently, we do have main tank diff contemplating a little bit about that ball. Texi back at it again on the Junkrat with, I do have to say, an incredibly tasteful skin. Beautiful choice there. That little bit of a classy Omnic just available in the store if you want to pick it up. You're either rich or you don't know how to spend your money in a responsible manner. That said, Shell's coming through here with a Zenyatta, a little bit of a classic Brig Zenyatta backline. The Brig Zen being a very dive-resistant sort of setup that does have quite a lot of damage potential. Texi, though, instantly sniped out by Levanta on a bit of an off angle. very unfortunate for him indeed. That said, with the initial pick, that is not going to dissuade Goats Revive in the least. Kurt's already on a angle of his own, trying to farm that, trying to farm just a little bit extra of that railgun. Instead, does get railgunned down by Desert Shadow instead. Certainly not a railgun, but rather a pulse pistol. But regardless of that, very nice pick coming through. That Desert Shadow instantly recognizing the potential. A little bit of a ball duel. Balls meeting balls. Not quite a vasectomy just yet, but certainly a lot of pressure mounting onto main tank. Diff roundabout down to half HP just yet. Does try to distract the backline as well. Not going to be taken down just yet. Shale, however, not quite as lucky. Does get gunned down by Temple. Maybe not enough packs available in order to keep him in the fight. Barrett unfortunately unable to keep him alive, and that will mean that Barrett is going to be the reasonable next target. Sticky trying to come through. However, Barrett going to be able to expertly block that. Unfortunately, will not be blocked. The following bullets by Temple. Taken down once more. Theos Tavern looking really solid on the defense here. Has to be said all the way in the back line here. First, now going to try to disengage. Does get chased down by Desert Shadow and eliminated. Strong show for Theos, from Theos Tavern so far. Levante trying to find a bit of a cheeky pickup here on that Hanzo choice, just spamming corners. Maybe he will be able to find that shot. Talk about spamming Texi as well. Not going to be outdone in that. Does drop a few more shots in the vague direction of, in the vague direction of Desert Shadow, who is trying to pick up Barrett, will not be able to do so, as in the meantime, the tank search seem to just be dicking around with one another. Texi, though, massive double kill, making a double. Mercy's feet and Desert Shadow both taken down. Curse trades life for that, and Levante with a triple kill already in session. It's really down to the map as well as the ball. Baps and balls might not be enough to hold this one on. Barrett, the DPS won't do it. He will find those picks as well. Does manage to shut down S4 here with only really Temple retaining. Does have the Discord Orb on him. Consequently gets taken down by Shale. And that should be the first point at long last, desperately unlocked here by Goats Revive. 1 minute and 50-second time bank. However, the contest continues to come through. Levante kind of accidentally pooped out by main tank. That does get caught out here. Will not be able to hold on. The point gradually ticking forward with the Curse. Very aggressively positioned. Eventually not able to disengage just yet. S4 though still going to fall to main tank Diff, as we are going to see Curse trying to put the pressure on a Mercy's feet, but it's going to be main tank Diff who will find the finishing touches there, taking down both supports. Very nice cooperative play out of main tank Diff as well as Curse. As Shadow now trying to take the Tracer duel. However, main tank Diff has another thing to say about duels, will not go uninvolved. Curse trying to back him up now. Ball versus Tracer. Tracer, what a matchup. Barrett, however, will be participating once more as well. Does take down Desert Shadow here, and following on to that, Temple running into a trap does get eliminated. So, Ghost Revive finally getting the card rolling. 3 minutes and 30 seconds for the second stage. Quite a bit of time back. We're going to see just how well that's going to go through. Talk about something that's going to go well, though. There's going to be a massive ultimate bank currently available to Goats Revive. It's going to be a massive quintuple, as in the meantime, Levante is going to be on the main, trying to annoy main tank Diff. Just an additional little bit of Temple here. Clearing mines, really almost the entire ultimate already been taken down, though we are now going to see the tire come through as well. Will be able to land on anyone. Ooh, does actually manage to take down Mercy's feet, which will leave S4 alone in the backline. Does get instantly taken down by Kersey. Very nice pickup, and consequently the rest of Theos Tavern simply split up and eliminated. It seems that in this fight in particular, once more, it was a little bit of a bait play, I suppose, out of main tank Diff, dropping the minefield there, forcing a couple of cooldowns in order to clear it, just in order to maybe divvy up attention, split the team, and enable the tire from Texi to find some additional value. Levante now, having swapped off the Nay and onto the Fire, a very interesting choice. Does receive the nanos as well, with the beat getting dropped in response to that. Now Barrett having come back in the back line, though, it's going to be main tank rolling through with Curse finding the pickup on the Levante that supports completely, having their hands full with Barrett as well as Texi and main tank Diff. And once more, it is Ghost Revive that succeed at splitting up Theos Tavern, dividing and conquering the entirety of the team. Curse now on the front line will find Temple as well as Desert Shadow, taking both of them down, and it would seem that maybe for the first time in the matchup of King's Row, Theos Tavern have started sweating just a little bit here. We'll have to fall back as well. Both the Zenyatta heal as well as the Mercy Beam on Levante right now. A lot of resources being invested into that Pharah, getting value. We're going to see if that is going to be something worthwhile. Barrett trying to go for a little bit of a contestation. Transcendence going to popped up here. Barrett apparently not going to have all too much success, where we are going to see Temple going off the map. A little bit of an awkward situation to be in. Shale, though, runs into a minefield, not going to be much healthier for him either. So you're going to see a Curse as well as main tank of trying to hold on here against Levanta, and Mercy's feet questions, will they be able to take down the Mercy in a timely fashion? However, Mercy's field still very much so zooping, zapping, and zooming around, will not be contested, not for an extended period of time anyways. Levanta will be able to find that one shot onto Curse with the damage boost, able to, of course, do that. Such a menace against just about every character. Baron trying to clear the field here, just moving about Levanta, who's currently regaining boosters. However, we'll have to reset. Minefield dropped into the backline. S4 split and prevented from disengaging. Does get kicked right into the front again and will be gunned down by main tech defenses. Stick connects onto Desert Shadow. Does get eliminated as well. Barrage now comes through though. Levanta with a double, making a triple actually. The Reds, however, will not be able to come through. Mercy's feet taken down once more, and Curse now going to be able to reassert dominance over point. However, with the stalls coming in, with the stall having come through on the back of Temple and the spawns now underway out of S4 and Desert Shadow, that's not looking like Gold Survive will be gaining a whole lot of additional territory, and they do need to complete with additional time back if they do want to stand a chance of taking this map, taking this point. It is quite a tough spot to be in. A minute and 30 seconds is not a lot of time back to have, especially not if there's a Valkyrie and a Transcendent still waiting to be utilized. Main tank tank at the orb here, a little bit of sticky coming through onto the Tracer as well. Tyre now going to get deployed by Texi. Will it be able to find anyone? Could actually be a very cheeky pickup onto, oh, Mercy, but S4, actually that's Desert Shadow finding the pickup onto the Tyre with S4 taking down main tank, still trades out for Temple. However, that Tyre pick was absolutely crucial out of the Cassidy player. Sticky coming through. S4 has a seal, will be holding on to that Transcendence, does not see the necessity of utilizing it, will instead have that Transcendence for any last second contest. Desert Shadow in the meantime, they'll be more than happy to clean up the pieces. Does get rocked and killed here, still trades his life for that up 2, and with Levanta getting resurrected, he instantly gets taken down again by Texi. Not a merciful second given. Still the rock coming through onto Temple here. A little bit of pressure mounting as Mercy's feet on the high ground. Does take down Texi. A little bit of a brazen choice by the Mercy to engage there, but does manage to succeed in a very handy fashion. This engage probably going to have to come through from Goat Survive here, which certainly are running out of space to wiggle with. I mean, we're looking at 20 seconds. They have to complete with additional timing if they want anything more than a draw out of this one. And so far, it's not looking like they have found what it takes in order to break the hold that Theos Tavern have been having on this King's Row third point. Transcendence available to both of the teams. A high noon ready to come through. Really ultimate advantage, if only slightly, going the way of Theos Tavern. However, instantly Desert Shadow taken down, will not be finding all too much value. Are they going to be continuing to contest the point? Would look like it. Transcendence now later used by Shale. A little bit cooler on the draw here as compared to S4. Point will still have to be contested. Levanta, though, pressuring the backline as we're going to see everybody. Barely not abandoned card. Goat Survive kind of playing a risky game here. Time and time again, they do tend to get booped off the point. They are losing space. They are losing time on it. But so far, they have been able to find the picks, especially with Temple taken down. That's going to be a very good condition to go with recall out of Curse already having been utilized. But they clear the point. Gold Survive for the third time in overtime. They just leave the point and they drop us with a letter number on the second map, going for another point towards Theos Tavern. And while it was certainly deserved, and it very much so had the potential to keep going that way, dropping a map with such a fashion is certainly unfortunate. Play the game here, going the way of Temple as well. Nearly done, does find the pickup initially. Okay. Well, lots of assist credit from the looks of it coming through, but that is a tough one. I mean, Coach Soraya cannot be happy with what happened there, abandoning the point in overtime of all things. I mean, after at least twice, maybe 3 times, Goat Survived almost already abandoned the point by accident. That was certainly a very interesting situation to be in. So quite unfortunate there that apparently they split up so severely. Now, though, we're going to be moving on to a push map, which I believe is going to be Esperanza. Maybe I'm not quite sure if there's truly a push map that lends itself to a brawly playstyle. You would have imagined King's Road to be a sort of a brawl map, but Temple has certainly proven that that does not need be the case, and consequently, apparently, we're now going to be moving on to Esperanza with, I would assume Temple really sticking to his guns here, has been working out great so far. Levante and Desert Shadow both kind of picking up the slack. We have seen Mercy's Feet do a great amount of work in order to keep the rest of the team alive. And as for, quite frankly, with a lot of damage output as well on that Zenyatta swap, having really put the squeeze onto main tank diff there. That Discord Orb certainly wearing down just about any tank at an incredible rate. All right, well, let's see what these gamers are going to be going for. Certainly going to be interesting to see Texie so far with the Junkrat. Did have a little bit more of a struggle sometime, I want to say, against all these aerial targets that have been brought forth by Theos Tavern, which, again, don't exactly lend themselves to a Junkrat playstyle, unfortunately. And, of course, Desert Shadow just being able to hit those shots, being able to take down a tire, that is, of course, a risk that you kind of have to take as a Junkrat player. You can't play completely safe. There's risks, there is rewards, and at the end of the day, can't always get the big tires. That said, let's check out what exactly these gamers are going to be sporting now. We'll have to assemble their matchup. They do get a very handy 40-second time bank in order to decide what exactly it is that they do want to end up running. So in the meantime, just take in the beauty of Esperanza and appreciate a little bit of that architecture, a little bit of that dam, quite potentially, if you're just about to get a peek on it up there in the distance. Yep, there you saw it, at least just a little bit. Not quite sure why there's a giant dam there, but also not that well versed in the history of Esperanza. They also have a castle, apparently, which you might be able to find here. Not really that you could go onto it on the map, but it certainly does look very beautiful. Talk about things that look very beautiful. Look at that tank lineup. Main tank div on the ball, Temple as well. Pretty much both teams here playing around the Hammond pick. Not too surprising to see, as so far it has worked out incredibly well for them. Curse this time around has apparently been decided that, he's fed up trying to run the Tracer. Will be starting right off the bat with that Echo pick. However, how successful he will be able to run that into Desert Shadow's Widowmaker, that is something that we're about to find out. Plenty of space already being taken here as the balls meet on the flank. Rather unsurprisingly, main tank diff as well as Temple here putting a little bit of a squeeze onto one another. However, the rest of Goat Survive already there to follow up with it. We'll be trying to put a little bit more squeeze on him. Will not be able to do too much just yet. His Curse as well as Barrett are going to be pressuring the rest of the team. Levante already having been taken down here. Now, Mercy's Feet still being kept alive successfully, though, by S4. Will not be under too much pressure. However, that can very rapidly change as Desert Shadow has just found out. Focusing beam, of course, absolutely massive as S4 shuts down Curse. Resurrection coming through on the back of Barrett will be some additional advantage. Main tank diff having to disengage on the back of that anti-Curse, just absolutely obliterating Mercy's Feet. Though Texie and Barrett are both going to fall to Temple in retaliation. So 3v3 matchup. Not really either one of them favored. However, Levante going to be able to find the pickups onto Shale. That's really down to Curse to try and disengage. Couple of cheeky boops there out of main tank diff, trying to get them below that 50% threshold. Will not be able to do so. Temple again finding the pickup of the Curse. Beautifully done out of Theos Tavern, really putting the squeeze on the Goat Survived once more, as apparently the initial picks onto the support line have really pressured out Goat Survived already. Now a little bit of an additional push trying to come through, as we are going to see the off-angle Desert Shadow here trying to take on main tank diff. Does manage to dissuade him. Mr. Jail has already been taken down again. That is the majority of the healing having been disposed of with Texie now taken down, traded out for Temple. It's still going to be a 2-for-1 trade. Make that a 2-for-2, however. Make that a 3-for-2. Goat Survive, bringing it back, though S4 has been eliminated. And with a res zone to Texie already coming through, that will mean that Curse is going to have to return the long way around. However, at least that robot is going to get pushed a little bit further back here. Most of the Goat Survived matchup once more having grouped up around the point. Now Mindful going to end up getting connected by a Temple, not quite able to find a picks just yet. The ground pound out of main tank diff going to clear a significant chunk of that. However, not quite enough in order to prevent another engage through it. Main tank diff on the chase against Levante will pressure out the recall as in the backline. First manages to take down Desert Shadow. A little bit of an echo differential there coming through.
Has been able to find that a limb. Still, resurrection attempt out of Mercy Suit. Will be able to pull it off. However, does give his own life in the process. Curse now looking for the duplicate onto the Tracer. Does farm the stake rather quickly. Doesn't quite yet have it. Still will be able to find the pickup of the Temple as Barret has been exchanged for S4. The support line readily being taken down here. Desert Shadow now with the duplicate onto Wrecking Ball, just trying to get a little bit of additional stall, and Tire still getting popped up by Texi here. Not entirely sure where that's gonna go. Absolute haywire. Finds Levante, takes him down. Elimination on the Desert Shadow as well, and now with a double kill. Goat survives. Still don't get to push his Temple. Will be there, but he does get caught out by that trap. So left behind by a very low HP Texi, has to be said. Anti as well does manage to last second disengage here. Will be kept alive by Shale. Nicely done. Goat survive, gradually managing to make their way forward, and might actually manage to advance their position a little bit further here than that of Theos Tavern, though necessarily said neither of them have truly advanced all too far just yet. Valkyrie still getting popped up here by Mercy Seed, as well as the Kitsuna Rush getting utilized by Shale. Barret, though, taken down already with main tank diff dropping. 2 picks already for Theos Tavern, despite the commitment of the Kitsuna Rush. Shale now dropped as well. Only the DPS line remaining, and that DPS line is a long way coming. Apparently, Curse already halfway back home, while Texi apparently is a little bit out of position here. Does manage to sneak out the kill onto Levante still. Tries to disengage. He is decently low HP, barely does not manage to get the kill up onto Mercy Seed, but will drop himself, and consequently that is going to have to be a little bit of a reset, at least for Goat Survive, as they do wait for the rest of the team to bring it back. Temple already going to be taken down by main tank diff, will not be waiting for a regroup whatsoever. Pressure mounting so far as the rest of Theos Tavern is not exactly group up either. Curse, nice pick coming through here onto Desert Shadow, looking for the elim on a Mercy Suit as well. Will make a double, goes to the duplicate onto the Tracer, now looking for not the duel but the pickup on an S4. Not quite able to find it just yet. Will be able to make that a pick regardless. Triple kill already out of Curse in this fight. With a little bit of a cheeky re-engage out of Temple in the meantime. However, the barrier continues to be pushed. Advantage still retained by Goat Survive for the time being. Temple not quite zoomed out just yet. Will eventually be found by that focusing beam as in the backline. Shell gets pressured out. However, will be able to advance back to the rest of his team. Ground Pound trying to come through as Levante has been eliminated. Goat Survive looking like they're back with a vengeance. Truly holding on here. Levante and Mercy Suit both having been eliminated. Now it's all down to Desert Shadow. He's low HP in the air already. Barret with a little bit of a personal vengeance there, utilizing the Valkyrie to glock him down, and consequently that is going to be already advanced spawns having been unlocked here for Goat Survive. A rather handy position to be in for them. However, that is going to be still a 4-minute 30-second time bank within which a lot of things are set to change. Curse here, very low HP, does have to disengage already, as we're going to see a little bit of a chase coming through. Tire not going to get popped up, instantly catches out Desert Shadow on the high ground. Very neat, cheeky little pick. Question is, will the res be able to come through? The answer is no. Curse instantly denying that resurrection attempt by Mercy. So not really an attempt coming through, but at least the thought process instantly disrupted. S4 now taken down as well. No supports available for Theos Tavern at this point, really down to Levante as well as Temple to try and hold on for a little bit longer, though will not be able to do it just yet. Levante still all the way in the back line trying to put the squeeze on it. Will be able to land the stack of the Texi. Does take him down. Duplicate coming through as well. Levante has been taken down already. That duplicate on the Miracle not really worth its weight, and Curse consequently cleans up with the triple. Beautifully done. Handy execution. Absolutely massive. Still, both duplicates having been expended, apparently working out a lot better for Curse there in the situation, and now we're looking at a nano boost against a minefield in terms of ultimate. Certainly not exactly stacked ult so far, but a significant advantage already well in session for Goat Survive and continuing to mount as Temple looks for the recontest here. And Desert all the way in the back line trying to put the squeeze onto Shale. Now we're going to see the minefield getting deployed here. A little bit of aggression towards S4, trying to hold on. Does get booted, not through the minefield, though. Does manage to clear those just about barely enough. Temple trying to be taken down. Does get eliminated by main tank diff already. A little bit of a tank advantage building for Goat Survive here, though the resurrection is readily available with Texi taken down. Theos Tavern would have seemed to be able to turn this one around. The Shale has now been eliminated. Nano was committed in order to find some additional value. Ground Pound coming in on main tank diff, but not really able to find anybody on the back of that as the res on the Texi is able able to come through, bring him back in the fray. There's going to be a tire coming through. Does find Levant. The question is the res going to be able to come right in? Very good anti-S4, taking down Texi on the flank. Beautiful nading shot coming through. The man on the support line, Theos Tavern, certainly looking to recover this fight. However, very aggressive positioning out of Temple with the sticky trying to come through. Will not be able to find anything just yet. Temple on the chase for Shale, not going to be able to find him either way. Does drop quite considerably in health, but so does main tank Temple. Will disengage Shale on hot waters as Ferret gets taken down. He doesn't have all too much to work with as the chase is still on. Will be eliminated here. Both supports taken down. Forgoed survived as Mercy Seed have now been taken care of as well. Cursto sniped up at S4, not the prey, but the predator rather. Able to find the pickup here, and consequently will mean that once more, after quite some time, Theos Tavern will be able to advance the barrier of their own, as we're going to see a little bit of a split here. 3 players still trying to take on just about whatever they can. Barrett shut down by Levanta, though, interestingly enough, will mean that Goat Survived are going to have to go for yet another regroup, yet another reset before they can go for an honest contest of the point. Minefield now going to get committed. Will find Shell, will find main tank Nip. Beautiful delivery here by Temple. Certainly constitutes a war crime, but one that Theos Tavern is well willing to accept and ignore, I would so say. Especially with advanced spawns now having been unlocked, Theos Tavern have been able to close much of the gap within progress that we have seen. And with only 1 minute and 15 seconds left, Ghost Survive do need to win this upcoming fight if they do want a realistic chance of retaining control here. Nano Boost and Nano Visor both having been committed. Curse trying to stay in the fray here. Very dangerous situation for him as Shale has already been taken down. Very good pickup. Still going to be trading for Levante with the res onto Shale coming through. It's actually Ghost Survive with an advantage, though main tank that does get taken now by S4 here, re-establishing the balance of power, at least for the time being. Katsuna Rush now going to get deployed as well. Temple trying to find a bit of a cheeky back pickup. Not going to be able to find anything just yet, though the additional damage is certainly welcome by Theos Tavern. S4 in the back gets gunned down and laced down by Curse. Levanta finds the pickup on a Verret here. Now will once more be taking the Mercy out of the equation. A little bit of a flank of the man on the soldier. Will be attempting to find that pickup. Cursto is going to be the one to fall. Very keenly done. Levanta still getting absolutely massive value out of the soldier plays. Mercy's feet incredibly low. Could potentially be picked up here. Just about 50 HP left. Sticky trying to come through. Will be able to connect as well onto Texi. Though it is Texas Coon that will be able to take down Desert Shadow as well. A couple of picks rolling through. They're rolling through blue. It's Goats Revived from the looks of it. Desperate attempt to stall here out of S4. Get the last second touch in, but he will not receive the chance. Grains don't run that fast. Goats Revive with a win, and a solid one at that on the map of Esperanza. And they're going to be putting themselves back on the map here with a 1-2 score. Still playing the game, going to be going the way of Temple on the ball here. A little bit of cheeky picks trying to roll through. And talk about roll through, that was quite literally it. Very late into the matchup here, actually, these couple of picks rolling through. Did manage to, well, get a few cheeky kills in here and there. Very nicely done. Hi guys, Levanta here. Oh my. Well, today we learned that Levanta likes Dr. Pepper, Zero Sugar, and a cat, which is very nice to hear. Everybody should like their cat. That said, and all things aside, Goats Revive putting themselves back in the matchup was really, really well played. I mean, do have to give kudos to them. Goats Revive bringing it back here with a convincing performance. Then again, Theos Tavern not really giving them all too much space. Very good focusing on taking down the supports on the part of Theos Tavern here, with Verret and Shale really having a bit of a tough time. As for kind of holding his own there in the backline is a little bit of a additional DPS. However, not been able to dislodge the absolute grit of Goats Revive, which were able to dig their way out of the dirt once more. Bringing it back here, Texi with some very interesting flanking maneuvers. Certainly very curious to see how that Junkrat managed to make it work. The tire, in particular, being able to rid himself of an Echo or two. Quite the significant impact there, it does have to be said. And of course, Curse on the Echo, just consistently being able to find those significant picks with a little bit of help out of Verret. Certainly did seem to make the difference. Now, how exactly they're going to keep playing this depends on what we're going to see on the up-and-coming escort map. That one is going to be the choice of Theos Tavern. And yeah, in that sense, we do still have a little bit of a 5-minute break going to happen. I'm going to grab some to drink, and we're going to be right back with a map that you don't yet know. Alright, don't mind us. We're gonna have a 5-minute break in just about a second. Don't sweat it. And yeah, if you haven't already, be sure to follow Goat Survived. Buy a t-shirt, buy a mousepad. Don't do either. Join the pugs instead. You're a free person. We don't get to tell you what to do, but anything's appreciated. Catch you guys in 4 minutes and 47 seconds, 46 seconds, 45 seconds. There's numbers. There's numbers here. They're gonna be back. Already followed? Well, Tiger, that's because you're an absolute fucking legend.
Alright, hello and welcome back. We have once again returned with the Tavern Brawl Part 2. What have you missed if you're just tuning in so far? Well, started out on the Arctic Peninsula, very close matchup actually, even though it doesn't look like it. 99 to 99 on both of the rounds. Map going to Theos Tavern. As for Kings Row, quite the close matchup as well. Still very strong offensive performance at the Theos Tavern as well. They managed to complete all 3 points with a 2-minute time bank left as well. Unfortunately, on third point, a little bit of abandonment of the point in overtime on the back of Goat's Revive. Consequently, Theos Tavern once more deciding that one for themselves. As for Esperanza, a little bit of an advantage for Goat's Revive there. Did manage to adapt, improvise, and overcome, adapting to sort of the ball play style of Theos Tavern by duplicating it with the ball of their own. Now, though, we're going to be moving on to Junkertown, which is the map pick by Theos Tavern, respectively. Usually a double sniper map, as you know, and, well, either love or hate it, really. There's not all too much in between there. That said, Junkertown very much so going to be an interesting pick to see, as we're going to see if Levanta or Desert Shadow are going to be bringing out their respective sniper plays. Out of Desert Shadow, I do believe we've already seen the Widowmaker. As for Curse, we haven't really seen any long-range DPS just yet. In Texi, we haven't really seen all too much different stuff aside from the Junkrat. Well, we have seen a little bit of, I want to say, the Torbjorn and even the May at some point, but overall not all too flexible. And well, whether that Junkrat, while certainly thematically fitting very well into Junkertown, certainly does not fare that well on at least first point. We're going to see how many points are going to be taken, though. 2 or 3 points certainly usually in the making, and with how close the matches have been so far, I do believe that these ones are, or this one rather, is not going to be much more one-sided either. However, we're going to see just what these guys are going to be rolling out with. So quite potentially, traditional double sniper composition. Then again, a lot of these times we've seen a more of a disrupt comp, more of a dive comp. The ball getting played, and quite potentially something like a Tracer, an Echo, or a Pharah. Don't really see that much Pharah on Junkertown first point, in large parts due to the dominance of snipers, of course, unless we're talking about, say, Avoided, for example, which did, of course, used to run the Pharah back in the day, despite everything. And said, whether that is going to be a brazen choice before Red Levanta remains to be seen. The only real Pharah play we've seen so far, with both Desert Shadow and Curse not being scared of picking up the Echo instead as well. So far else, I mean, obviously, has been quite I do want to say quite a close matchup time and time again. Mercy Seed and Verid being the main support respectively, and Shale and as for being the flex supports for their respective teams. So far, so good. And said, Junkertown, we have seen quite a bit of it in the past as well. Usually when you do have a very confident amount of hit scan players, which is, I do want to say, not necessarily something we've seen. We've also seen Desert Shadow on the Cassidy, which has just recently been nerfed quite considerably with the 25 HP less. However, if that's going to dissuade him from maybe bringing out the Cowboy, it kind of remains to be seen. If you do end up playing a hit scan, you're probably just going to end up going for, say, the Widowmaker or even the Ashe on a map like this. We might even see the return of the Hanzo. I mean, yeah, I've seen quite a few of those, quite a few of those time and time again. Apparently, Desert Shadow announcing that one more person is being waited upon. However, they have been able to find him. Consequently, we're going to be going into the matchup. So far, 2 for 1 for Theos Tavern, and this is Goat's revived opportunity to either draw even, or Theos Tavern opportunity to once more move them one step closer to their ultimate goal of ultimate victory. As said, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the part of the world that was nuked when Omnix first pretended to be sentient. And we're going to see who exactly is going to be attacking. That's going to be Theos Tavern. As for on the defense, we got ourselves Goats revived. With, of course, the very traditional plays we have grown to know
and Love already just about 15 seconds before they will have to make the decision within the Wolf's Woods, which is actually quite a neat name for a pub. I will admit that much. However, for the time being, they do still have some time to make up their minds. And it would appear not too much changing here so far. Very interestingly enough, going to be opting to play the Lucio, which I'm not 100% sure how well that's going to be fitting in with the with Curse and Texi on the Tracer and the Junkrat respectively. However, could very much so. Oh, okay. Could very much so be fitting in with, you know, main tank diff and Curse on the Tracer and Ball respectively, trying to, you know, sort of engage as a unit, a little bit of a 3-2 split. Then again, do you truly want to leave your Ana alone with your Junkrat? That is a choice that you're going to have to make and decide for yourself. So far, little bit of an issue there, going quite a bit of back and forth. Not 100% certain on how that one's going to go just yet. Apparently prod saying there's a little bit of an issue, not entirely sure. But regardless of that, we're going to be kicking it off now. 10 seconds once more given and attributed for both of these teams to decide what exactly they do want to run. Last time around, it certainly seemed like they were going to opt for the very identical ball matchups with Desert Shadow here on the Widowmaker. And that is a lot of latency. Is that me or... No, the server continues to close due to an unexpected error. Well, that is a bit of a pickle. Chris saying host another lobby. That does make a lot of sense, actually. Shell saying change map. So a little bit of a different, different reasonings here. Some people saying it is the reason would be the map. Some people saying the reason would be the lobby. How true either one of those is, you know, we do not truly know just yet, but, you know, we're looking into it and certainly will have it fixed semi-soon. Okay, apparently Go Survive trying to convince Theos Tavern that this is a map issue, probably trying to get them to change maps. Everybody having incredible ping. That is true, though that shouldn't rightfully be an issue with the map, you wouldn't think. But then again, Blizzard has done weirder things, so you never know how these bugs work. And in the same sense, it could be a lobby issue. Then again, you know, as Cheddar says, junk only. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. If they do want to run Junkertown, then that should be their choice. And consequently, they will attempt to do so again. Everyone has an A ping. That is true. Everyone has an A ping. Which, yeah, that is not working whatsoever. Yeah, there it goes once more. All right, well, that is a little bit of a problem, which means that either they will have to rehost the lobby or choose a different map. And even if they do choose a different map, it is unclear if that is going to work. Soraya trying to blame... Okay, Soraya trying to blame Crow on that one. I'm not entirely sure. Oh, S4 crashed as well. Alright. Interesting. So they're saying they're trying a different map now. We'll have a little bit of an experience trying to figure out what exactly the issues here are. Curse saying he will host a new lobby. Instead, they're going to try out Circle Royale just to see if it works, but it will not work. That ping is going ballistic, and that is... actually, it's returning to normal. Actually, it is returning to normal. Oh my. So apparently it is indeed Junkertown that is causing the issues. Would you believe it? We have learned something else today. And Crow saying his ping has returned back to normal. We do have a little bit of a back and forth here. In the meantime, just chilling with the intermission. Oh my. Chael not too happy with any of that. Okay, now Desert Shadow asking for a return to Junkertown once more. Just one last attempt to actually give them the map they do desire, and it is understandably so if they do want to play their long-range hit scan, then there's no better map. S4 says she has a knife. I'm not sure who has a knife. Oh my. So S4 apparently about to get murdered by his girlfriend. That is a very tragic turn of events. Maybe Theos Tavern going to drop one of their players here. We're going to see. Taxi DDoSed Junkertown. Okay, Soraya says, I'll try Junkertown one more time. We will see just how well that is going to go. Or if eventually a different map will have to be chosen.
Welcome to Junkertown.
Junkertown, we're on a 200. I mean, it looks fine now. Around about, what, 150, 140? And that might just be my ping, but it does tend to spike a little bit. Yeah, we're just gonna have to see how well this is gonna go. DDoS failed, says Verit. Alright, that is looking like it does work. That means, ladies and gentlemen, we have once more... Oh, we have one more attempt. Sticking on Junkertown, Texas saying he has a blue screen. Well, it's a lot of excuses trying to come through. Ping just booping all over the place, and oh my lord, that does look quite interesting. As said, let's check these out. For the defense, Curse going to be on the Soldier 76. Not too much of a surprise in regards to that, as we are going to see Texie still taking the Junkrat as well. Junkrat on Junkertown, even though it seems a little bit confusing, is not exactly the best pick you could go for. Shell, on the other hand, sticking to that Ana. We'll have a little bit of the sniper room, and that's going to be another server close. Alright, gents. That is looking like a little bit of an issue that will have to be resolved. A couple of questions for new lobbies. Mercy's Feet asking, is count as a point for us? Main Tank Div asking for a new lobby. Okay, there's quite a few people. Quite a few people asking for a rehost. Well, we're going to see if that's something that they will be receiving. New lobby or different map, your call. Well, we're going to see which one it's going to be. A couple of calls for new lobby. I mean, new lobby makes the most sense, right? Because rightfully it should be Theos Tavern's choice which map ends up getting played. Okay, oh, there you go. That is going to be a new lobby that we're going to be hopping into, and consequently a little bit more of a delay. That said, you know, it is only fair. Theos Tavern should have the ability to choose which map they want to play on if they lost the previous map, as that is what the rule set intends. Oh my.
Now arriving 3.
Apparently main tank Div deciding to run a little bit of a 1v1 lobby. It's a curious one, to say the very least. Everybody else getting kicked out from the looks of it. Oh my. And, yeah. Just been moving on into a new lobby, I would so assume. Once upon a time. Alright, well, that's a little bit of a delay, but, you know, that is what will happen if things go live. You can't exactly fix Blizzard's game for them, so consequently, you're just gonna have to live with it. As said, currently, lobby being made in the setup. Everything being designed, being refashioned, rebuilt, teams being reorganized, names being re-added, as well as, of course, well, the lobby in general just being set up with players assembled. Very fun games. I'm very happy to hear that you think so. As said, yeah, they will still have to unfold. First 3 matches already well underway. 4th one still being waited upon. Shout out to Kinocchio W. Taxi finding out that he can run his phone with no charge whatsoever. He may have found the Perpetuum Mobile, a limitless power source. Oh my word. Watch and hope you could join you one day. Well, tell you what you can do. What you can do is you can join Goats Revive Pugs, and if you join Goats Revive Pugs, you probably have the opportunity to actually join a team as well if they're looking for recruits for one of these events. Now, I can't guarantee you'll find a spot. I don't know exactly how the recruitment process works, but that would be how you get to do it. Much love for the players. Thank you very much for the compliment. Also, much love to the players indeed. You can also join Theos Tavern. Theos Tavern is also a Pugs location. Also Pugs Discord, where you can also find players, also find games. So you can join both Goats Revived and Theos Tavern if you're looking for some, enjoyable, somewhat competitive games, which, how competitive they are, of course, in the end always depends on the players, but rightfully so, is a pretty enjoyable experience, I dare say. Looks like S4 might get traded out for Henji here, though. We're gonna have to see about that. You don't think you get a place? Well, you know how it is. You gotta put in the grind, you gotta put in the work, and that's how you get a chance. Besides, you can also just play in the Pugs. The Pugs, I don't think, have any entrance restrictions. So if you do just want some decent quality games with a few people who take the game seriously but not too seriously, then that is probably your best bet. Unless you do actually want to join a team, scribble a bit. You enjoy the games and always love the players? Well, big shout out to the players indeed. Who does not love a few good players? Actually, never mind that. Apparently S4 being back in the game is having a bit of a field day. Seems like everybody has rejoined. Everybody is back at it again, looking happy, looking juicy, looking content. Now, see what's going to happen. Everybody given the arm. Maybe we are going to be returning to Junkertown at long last. Everybody's dreams coming true. There's a chat on Levant that's trading spots, but not truly too difficult. Though we are happy to report that, from the looks of it, Shell and S4 have adjusted their location. So we now have an equal lineup with flex support before main support. Very happy to see that. Coach Sarai is saying they're going to be waiting on one. Which one that one is, remains to be seen.
Welcome to
Thank you,
Junkertown.
Lucky. It is appreciated. Alright, that's it, ladies and gentlemen, alone. Welcome to the beautiful map of Junkertown, this time with, hopefully, a stable and human amount of ping. That said, it is going to be a little bit of a sniper fest, at least on the side of Theos Tavern. We have already seen that Desert Shadow could not hold his fingers still, picking up that Widowmaker. As we cursed the last time around, we did see the Soldier, though it could still be subject to change. Generally, you might want a hit scan on this map if it is to dissuade a Pharaoh or an Echo. Or if it is to restart a lobby, because apparently the map is having issues. Consequently, map going down here, that is going to be the very end of Junkertown and the 400 ping situation, at which point it would seem that, against all odds, it is going to have to be Theos Tavern that will have to choose a different map. Unless they're going to be going for it again, which I don't think they'll do. Alright, well, Theos Tavern get another map pick, one that is not Junkertown. I'd see if we can find out what that's going to be. Apparently Mercy's Feet begging for Rialto, where Desert Shadow is not willing to go with that one. That is a little bit of a break. Junkertown is just bad luck, eh? I don't think it's bad luck. I think it's genuinely just a bug. I think Junkertown might just be an actual game-breaking bug at the moment in the game that needs to be patched out by Blizzard. I can't recall playing Junkertown either. Levant is saying Mercy's Feet is nowhere near team captain level. Very happy to hear that.
as Theos specifies that they have not decided yet. Alright, well, in that sense, we will wait a little bit longer for Theos Tavern to readjust their views and reconsider where they're going to play. The world is their oyster. They have the choice of just about every escort map, with namely the exception of Junkertown, which we're probably not going to see anytime soon. Managed to play Eichenwalde, almost back-to-back though. Good old Eichenwalde. Who doesn't love it? That said, it looks like we're going to be going on to Dorado now. Dorado, very nice map, a little bit of a nightly map. We have seen quite a few first point holes in this one in the past. It kind of depends on how well you can hold around Red House. Yeah, that's just going to be very interesting to see how exactly they're going to be playing these. Naturally, with a lot of high ground being accessible, this one could still be a viable map for Desert Shadows Widowmaker, though then again, it is also quite popularly a map on which you see, say, a Pharah or an Echo. Oh my word, everybody's saying let's try Junkertown one more time. I cannot wait for that not to happen. Barrett's saying that is DDoS work. We'll never find out if that is actually a statement that is true or just a meme. That said, let's get back into it. Let's have a little bit of a look at what these guys are going to play. Desert Shadow back at it again on the Widowmaker, at least for the time being, with Levanta. Still swapping over a little bit onto the Soldier in order to play the bells a little better. Still might imagine Levanta to swap back onto the Genji there. Nanoblade being a decent win condition. As for now on the Life Weaver, not really expecting a Life Weaver to come through. I'll be entirely honest with you. So far, I've not seen any performances out of that character where it would have been like, oh, you know, that warrants the pick. And does not seem like anybody has the particular need to do so either. Alright. Levanta instantly dashes out of spawn, gets trapped, gets killed. Very swift pickup there. Resurrection potentially able to come through. Mercy Seat just thinking about it, will actually not be going for that res. Maybe a little bit of BM against Levanta, or maybe just retaining that cooldown. Could really be either one of them. Yeah, Curse on the high ground, putting the squeeze onto Mercy Seat. Instantly the dive engage comes through as well. A little bit of a squeeze coming through onto Astor as well as Mercy Seat here. Neither of them eliminated just yet, though Temple has been taken down. Now Curse going to give a little bit of chase here to Mercy Seat. Does take him down. Barrett find the pickup on Levanta. Will be able to eliminate him as well. With Tank Diff now diving deep into the backline. Curse though being able to find the pickup. Well, looking pretty swell so far. I mean, to be fair, it's only been around about a minute that has been elapsed with everybody trying to chase down Temple. Oh, Temple actually run about 25 HP. Does get eliminated by Verret here. Nice pickup coming through. As from the looks of it, Mercy Seat is going to end up getting chased down once more. Merits. Oh, actually, Mercy Seat taken care of as well as this for traded out for Shale. Shale now swapping over onto the Akiriko as well. Interesting enough, we'll be playing something that's a little bit more resilient, a little bit less diveable. And there we have it, a swap over by Levanta onto the Ferret. Does get sniped out by main Tank Diff as well. Unfortunately, not exactly delivering what he had hoped for. This Temple again goes incredibly low. Won't be able to disengage, at least for the time being, but eventually gets caught out here by Curse, with the Red House still remaining under the solid control of Ghost Revive so far. Not really too much of an issue for them, asserting their dominance here with only a 2-minute timing left. That is actually not that much time to be working with if you're trying to, well, if you're trying to take this first point. Again, it's not that little either, as this first point doesn't really have a whole lot of choke points past the first. You can try to hold on. Texie taking down this Shadow. Nice initial pick with the tire now coming through. Question is, where exactly is that tire going to go? You'd imagine it's supposed to go for Levanta. Whoop! Does eventually find Mercy Seat, with S4 taken down. That is going to mean no more healing for anybody else. Levanta trying to disengage, does get gunned down, does get taken down. A little bit of a jump here come through as well. Desert Shadow eventually caught out by Curse. Actually Goat survived and doing a tremendous job at bringing this one back into the fold. 1 minute and 25 seconds. Not really a whole lot of time to be working with at this point.
Yeah, especially as the Primal does come out here. A little bit of a cheeky attempt to get that elimination onto S4, and the Zenyatta will not be able to do so. 50 HP. Oh, for main tank div. Does manage to be taken down here just in the last jump. Absolutely tragically big there. As Mercy Suit pops up the Valkyrie here, Shale still under heavy pressure, might be able to be taken down. Beat drop as well does deploy onto just about everybody who's still alive. Sticky trying to come through, not going to be able to land on anything. S4 though taken down to the backline by Curse, already traded out for Texi. Eliminations rolling through, Shale does get taken down as well. 2-for-1 exchange with the advantage. Building for Theos Tavern, Mirage comes through, main tank div, drops every bubble he has, gets the high charge and takes down Levanta. Absolutely massive value there on the back of that barrage just for the wrong team. Now still the main tank div eventually going to be taken down here. Vera just trying to stall for a little bit longer as we're looking at 25 seconds. Last push potential. Vera trying to go aggressively for S4. Curse already finds the cover on Mercy's feet. We'll try to find the pick on S4 as well. We'll have to recall, but with 2 eliminations onto each of these supports, that is going to be a clean sweep for Curse. We'll find a third as well. Absolutely massive opening maneuvers. Somebody is going to have to touch here for Theos Tavern if they do want a realistic chance of continuing onwards on this map, though it doesn't seem to be the case. Last second blinks. Eventually that's going to be Desert Shadow being able to find that last contestant. Again, Levanta has already been taken down. Temple not going to have to bring it back as the Consumer Rush does get popped up. Mercy's feet having been disposed of with the Transcendence, bringing it all the way back from the backline. Tire instantly going to be cancelled by Temple here. Shaduk as well. Sorry for that one. Do apologize. That said, still Death Shadow taken down by Curse as Temple gets trapped, gets eliminated by that trap, and with S4 having fallen, that's going to be an incredible first point hold going the way of the Lands of Goat survived. Bless you. No thank you, Tiger. Bless you. Dear God. I'm definitely getting sick after today, which is going to be great for the rest of the weekend. That said, despite everything, a first point hold, I mean, we did kind of talk about it, did kind of talk about the potential. I did assume it was going to be a little bit more evenly matched. Still, very good comeback there by Goat Survive, playing that loose and fast playstyle, being able to so effectively disrupt the engages on the back of Theos Tavern, which again did not seem to be able to find their way into the matchup, and consequently, you know, were able to be held first point. So that was, you know, a little bit unfortunate, a little bit tough, but truly what can you do now on the offense? We are going to see which one of them are going to be, well, or rather how they're going to be participating in this next assault for Goat Survive. I mean, obviously Texi here back at it again on the Junkrat, doesn't see much of a reason to swap. As for Curse, will be rocking out on the Echo, of course, being a bit of a menace on maps like this where there's a lot of high ground that you can access and play around. As for the defenders, we are going to have S4 this time around on the Baptiste, with Levanta on the Ash. Does have the additional Mercy Pocket from Mercy's feet, which is, well, going to be enabling him to put out quite a significant chunk of damage, which again might be very important in order to try and contest Curse. How and to which capacity that is going to be necessary, though, well, once more remains to be seen. Shale here, teleporting out back to Texi as we again see the cheeky engages trying to come through. Main tank div on the high ground. Now looking to put a couple of bullets in the back of Temple. So far, not really putting too much of a squeeze onto him. Curse trying to drive him out, will successfully do so as main tank div is now going to engage onto the backline. Does drop down onto Mercy's feet, not going to be able to find those initial picks. S4 though, going to go incredibly low. Does manage to find the pickup of Vera despite everything. However, will be taken down and eliminated by Curse in retaliation. Mercy's feet, nice res coming through. Does reestablish dominance here. Will bring back S4, who had just been dropped by Curse, and consequently that's going to be a significant advantage in that matchup. Will lead to the regroup of Goat Survive. There's a Shadow able to find the pickup on the Texi here despite everything. And so far, not really too much more room being created by Goat Survive. High ground pound coming through. Temple trying to put the squeeze onto main tank diff, not quite able to dissuade him just yet. But then again, Winston also, of course, not going to be doing all too much damage to up ball either. Does Shadow run about half healthy as well as Temple, and able to be able to see if they are going to be able to punish S4. Ooh, does actually get gunned down by main tank diff. A little bit of an unusual pickup. Winston being able to kill the Baptiste in such a timely fashion. That said, Sticky not going to be able to land either. As from the looks of it, nobody's going to be pushing the cart on the back of Goat Survive. That is maybe going to be a little bit of a great push that they would wish they would have had. Levanta, though, does drop onto the point here as well. Will be exchanging positions with Temple. Aver, though, traded out for Mercy's Feet, both going 1-for-1 as Levante drops as well, though. This one will be exchanged for Texi. 1-for-1's continuing to be exchanged. Duplicate coming through on the back of Curse, looking for a little bit of a cheeky pickup. Does have to consider he is round about half health. As maybe not looking too much for the Chaser Jewel, but rather the pickup onto S4. Will be able to find it as well. Did already commit to the recall and will now be looking for either Levante on the Reaper or Mercy's Feet on that Mercy. However, so far the Primal has been forced out by main tank Diff. Does have to disengage as is impeccably low HP. Tire now coming through on the back of Texi as well. Does try to go for the pickup of the Mercy Suit. Will be able to find that one as well. The person meantime has been traded out for by Desert Shadow. Tempelo trapped and eliminated by Barrett here. Nicely done. Texi with the trap there, finding absolutely massive value. Ammo Matrix popped up, but really it is only S4 who is going to be firing from behind that. And while that is a significant chunk of damage against 4 to 5 players, that is not really going to be able to be enough. That I would have said if it had been true, but main tank Diff taken down by S4 with a little bit of additional help from this Shadow here on the Tracer, looking quite chunky, and only a minute's time bank left. This is going to be down to whoever can pretty much decide the next fight for themselves. Not this one going on, as this already looks like it's well and handily going the way of Theos Tavern. Main tank Diff having swapped over onto the Reinhardt. Does manage to snipe out S4. Then again, Mercy's Feet still going to be able to get that resurrection up without too much of an issue. As we're going to see the high ground here being contested, being set up by Shadow. Trying to wait for a little bit of a cheeky engage properly onto Shale. Ooh, almost drops low there. Texi dropping a bomb on him. Not quite going to be able to find the pickup. Kitsuna Rush now going to be popped up. Aggression bursting forward in order to get Levante. Does get moved around by the Suzu. The charge misses somehow. Main tank Diff goes down. Texi dropped as well. The double kill, making a triple and a quad. 20 seconds left on the clock. The card, though, remains not that far away from the fateful last point. Those spawns are going to have to come in. A little bit of a swap coming through as well on the back of main tank Diff. Can somebody touch? Very efficient group, actually. Main tank Diff with a last second touch alongside Curse, and this one's going to be all down to the last fight. Barry and Shale, though, both already taken down by Templar and Swore. Massive double pickup. The point is cleared again. Curse has to return to it. Does get taken down, and though he has found the double pickup, it is not going to be enough. It's all down to main tank Diff trying to hold on, but what can a singular baby D.Va do against such an overwhelming odds? That's a question. It can stall apparently, but not for much longer. Barrett here gonna have to go out. Will re-engage once more over the top. However, does get shut down, and consequently, despite what seemed like a strugglesome first point for the Theos Tavern, are gonna be able to hold on, are gonna be able to close out, and will be putting this one and a 3-for-1. Play of the game still going to be going the way of Curse, though, on the Tracer. Apparently very nice double, if not triple, in this matchup. Instantly shuts down Desert Shadow here, looking for the pickup onto the rather aggressively positioned Mercy's Feet, has to be said. And look at that, just farms kill after kill. Very handily done. Unfortunately, was not enough in order to decide the fight for him. That was quite the solid kickback there. Theos Tavern being able to bring this one back as well, and that is going to make the up-and-coming control map very much so a match point. Now, if Theos Tavern's going to be able to take this one, that's going to be it for Ghost Revived, and Theos Tavern will be going home with the trophy as well as Lifted Spirits. I'm not entirely sure if there's anything in particular on the line except for the glory of the Discord, which certainly so far Theos Tavern have been representing very aptly. Then again, so far very, very close matches across the board. One could even say that Esperanza might have been the least close of the bunch. Then again, King's Row was also, I would say, slanted at the very least. Overall, though, very good performance across the board from both teams already, with now Dorado, of course, being first held by both, though a little bit more efficiently by Theos Tavern, respectively. All right, and it is down to Ghosts Revived to choose their preferred map. Could be going either way. What control maps y'all want to win or not? Oh my, is that interesting? There's a little bit of chatting coming on from Umbreon. I'm not entirely sure what he is saying, but we're just gonna leave that be as is. That said, Goats Arrive still going to have to make the decision what exactly they're going to end up rolling here. So far, Theos Tavern seeming a lot more confident in what they were playing, and kind of rightfully so. Even though they have swapped over quite a lot, so certainly kudos in that regard as well. Kind of impressed so far with several performances across the board, but we're going to see, whether Ghost Revive is going to be able to bring this one back. They're going to have to get another 2 here in order to equalize. They're going to have to get another 3 in order to win it. In the meantime, though, this one is, well, means everything to Theos Tavern. If they can actually get the dub here on Lijiang Tower, then that could already be it for them. And certainly they are going to fight in accordance. Then again, Ghost Revive, they don't have much of a different option either. They do need this win. They need every win from here on out. They do want to bring it back, and bringing it back is something that certainly we have seen them do in the past. However, so far, Theos Tavern have certainly looked incredibly competent, not really giving a whole lot of room for Ghost Revive to flourish. Though Ghost Revive so far have taken every inch they have been granted. Whether that is going to be enough, though, on Lijiang Tower, it remains to be seen. So far, though, I mean, it also has to be said that Theos Tavern has just been able to kind of force Ghost Revive to play their playstyle. Now, Main Tank, if I would imagine, would like to play the Reinhardt, would like to play these more consistent, more frontline heavy oriented team compositions, but just has not been given the opportunity by Temple so far. Whether that is bound to change, especially on Gardens, usually I do want to say no. But, yeah, we're going to see about that. As said, they do have around about 30 seconds in order to make up their mind here. What exactly they do want to be popping out on Lijiang Tower Gardens. And we're going to be hopping on with one of the teams in order to figure out what exactly their plans for this matchup are. I'm assuming the ball on both sides, not really too many crazy surprises in that sense, unless Main Tank Diff thinks he does not want to take the 1-for-1 against Temple, which certainly would be forgiven for, and that doesn't appear to be the case as well. Kersey are going to be moving on to the Echo with Shale on the Ana, trying to keep alive Main Tank Diff on the Reinhardt. Now, Reinhardt, you can sort of play that. You do probably want to go through White Room, generally speaking, in case the Pharah gets run, and do believe me when I say the Pharah does get run. Levante here back at it again on the Pharah has been doing incredibly well so far on that, especially with that Mercy Zen backline. The Reinhardt is going to suffer quite a little bit of damage, constantly having that Discord armament with damage boosts onto the Pharah. However, Curse also going to be trying to instinctively counter that Pharah with the Echo pick. Going to be able to see if that is going to be something that will succeed. Curse instantly shutting down Levante here. Very good utilization of that focusing beam. Has been able to find the first pick. Unfortunately, Main Tank Diff taken care of here already is a 1-for-1 trade that is not entirely worth it. I do want to say trading your tank for one of the DPS, though if it's a pharmacy, that might very much so be different. Barrett here traded out for Temple as well. As so far, not looking too rosy for Ghost Revive in their attempt of making their way in. Here's S4 bringing not 1 but 2 kills to the table. Does eliminate the entirety of the DPS lineup. Unfortunately enough for him, that is going to be him next falling prey to Main Tank Difference before once more being brought back to life. So he will be missed, but not for long. And Temple on the off angle already setting up for yet another engagement. We do hear the charges rolling through on the back of Main Tank. Diff does try to move back to White Room once more. Not too surprising to be perfectly honest. Temple somehow dropping off the map there. Not entirely sure. I did manage to kill himself. S4 though taken down by Curse as well. Sticking coming through the Main Tank. Diff will not be dislodged just yet. Levante having swapped over onto the Echo as well. Hoping to have a little bit more resilience against that Pharah. Against the Pharah, I say, against the enemy Echo. That we did used to see initially at East. Curse, though, more than happy to instead return to his roots of the Tracer. Will not be contesting that, and consequently, Levante instantly going to be swapping back onto the Pharah here. Does recognize that with the Tracer, there's a whole lot less pressure on him, and instantly moves on to get the first pick onto Tex here. Very strong opener for sure. A little bit of a TP having to come through. Charge of the main tank diff, not going to be able to find anything. Then again, Mercy's Feet taken down by Curse already. Will mean a significant chunk of healing is going to be missing. Baron and Shale, though, taken down. So's main tank diff. As for again, making it happen with a tremendous double kill, as apparently this Shadow dies to the trap. But despite everything, that is roundabout equal progress so far, with a significant progress now starting a build for Theos Tavern, and they do already have the advantage. Whether that advantage is going to be enough to capitalize upon remains to be seen. Sticky now going to land on S4, going to be forcing that barrage. Char Knight going to be forcing the barrage, forcing the Transcendence. But now the tire getting popped up by Texi as well. Going to be able to see if that is going to be some considerable advantage. Oh, main tank and barely not getting grouped down here. Tire attempt to wear someone down. The person getting ward down, though, is going to be Curse getting his head split by S4 yet again. S4 having an absolute field day on that Zenyatta. Look at him go. Does get the D-Mech as well to main tank different while he dies to Shale himself. I did manage to get still a respectable amount of picks, to say at the very least. Sticky trying to come through, not going to be able to land out of Desert Shadow just yet. Still going to be able to find the pick up to Shale regardless. And just like that, Verid will have to, I don't know, disengage I wanted to say, but he does go for a cheeky spawn camp onto S4. Whether that's going to be something he's going to regret, though, I do kind of want to believe that, because S4 has not been fucking around. Verid trying to hold on to the best of his ability, just gets bullied back into a corner and shot down. Not really too much you could have expected on that. At least the point will get contested. Curse though, barrage to death by Levante, with the Verid having dropped as well. It's a 5v3 situation. Make that a 4v3 situation. Texi able to find the shutdown onto S4. Nicely done, at least for the time being. He's out of ammo, though. We'll have to resort to the hammer. The hammer, unfortunately, not quite sizable enough to make that difference, as the beat ends up getting dropped here. So far, neither team find the respectable pick, though. Levante has been eliminated. Mercy's Feet now the prime target. Goat survived again, barely not dropping off the map, as Mercy's Feet does get caught out with Desert Shadow eliminated as well by Curse. Could have been the flipping point, quite frankly. The point getting flipped right there. Curse with a double kill once more, going for the recall, still though at around about 45% and with no ultimates to show for just yet. It is a little bit of a tough situation to be in. If your Goat survived, you don't really want to drop around if it means moving yourself one step closer to losing the entirety of the series. For so far, main tank diff is going all the way back into spawn just to try and put the squeeze onto S4. Will not be able to wear him down just yet, though the recall has been forced out of Desert Shadow. He will be able to shut down Texi, with Shale dropping as well. Now, it's going to be 2 picks already at this point. It's really all down to Goat Survive in order to try and stabilize the situation, find some retaliatory picks, but it is them that are going to get picked up here. Curse shut down as well, has been eliminated. The point almost flipped once more. It's going to have to be the rolling of main tank diff, bringing it through here, trying to hold on. Does get eliminated. Transcendent popped up as well. Verid desperately trying to keep the contest going. Does get moved off the map by Temple, though. Consequently, that is going to be all she wrote. Sticky coming through on the Mercy's Feet, but what truly doesn't matter if it's only Texi still left on the point. You have gotten the Mercy, but you haven't gotten is the point. Curse still going to be dropping back onto the point time and time again, but he too gets shut down by Levante. Main tank diff trying to hold on, touches, but it is only for a second. Will be traded out for by Verid. Another stalk continuing, but the Lucio 2 will fall to S4, and consequently, and at long last, Goat Survived have been peeled off the point, peeled off the pavement, and no matter how many layers of them they're able to put down time and time again, it is Theos Tavern that pick up the scrap, will be able to find the pick, wear them down, deny the stall, and eventually lock them out, and thus we are in just about as close to a match point as you can be. It's a 3-1 in the series. It's a 1-0 in the round. And if Goat Survive do not win the next 2 rounds of this, it is over. The win goes to Theos Tavern. Is that going to be the case? One can only dream. Which way you're dreaming? That largely depends on who's your preferred team. That said, so far looking very good for Theos Tavern. They're not really switching up the game plan here. Levante on the Reaper, but that's about it. Other than that, so far having run particularly well. Texi, though, instantly shut down by Desert Shadow. Very nice early pickup there, going the way against the Tracer. Goat survived here, opening up some space for the main tank diff, driving all the way into the backline. Will have Barrett picking him right back up in order to try and collapse onto the rest of the team. So far, though, just getting kicked around. Goes for another cheeky bit of charge. Now trying to wear out the Mercy, finds Mercy's Feet. S4 trended out for main tank diff. There's Shadow now taken down as well. Picks rolling through, Barrett dropping as well. Exchanges coming through. 3 versus 2 situation. Goat Survive favor. Trap comes in on the Temple. Will be able to take him down. Goat Survive able to clear the point, assert their dominance, flip it in their favor, and finally get some progress on the point. However, despite that, we have seen Theos Tavern prove time and time again that the initial cap does not mean that much. A little bit of a Tracer duel on the flank here. Looks like we're going to be seeing Desert Shadow trying to take first by the horns. Now which one of them is going to be able to make the difference? Recall now going to get called by Curse as well. 1-for-1 in that duel. Still very, very casual, very...
Now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Into the iris.
The time will at least for the very first pick coming through. Initially nice pick having come in here, very keenly done. Not entirely sure just how well that's going to work out with Texi Curse both taking down Temple and Mercy's Feet trying to stay in the fray. Texi here having been eliminated as well. The last points fading away. Mercy's Feet with a double kill. It's all down to Curse. He has to bring it back. Does take the health back. Will move back in just the last split second. He's trying to give every split second to his team that he can, but the Shatter costs him just enough time to not touch the point. Theos Tavern takes it all. A well-deserved victory and the clutching finishing seconds.
Play of the game.
And the play of the game once more goes to Temple. A ball extraordinaire, you have to say it. He made the game his own time and time again, and look at him go. Just rolling through for the 50 damage, gets Verid right off the map there, confirms the elimination onto Shale as well. Beautifully done, solidly executed. Not really anything you can say against that. Beautiful execution in general. However, unfortunately, I don't exactly have a POV of the situation at this point in time. I'm gonna have to get a little bit more aid from my dear friend in the prod here. who is not exactly transmitting at this point. That said, GG's everyone. Thank you very much. It is greatly appreciated. That said, GG's everyone. Indeed, it was certainly a pleasure to watch Theos Tavern coming through with a very, very well-deserved victory. It has to be said. Temple, Desert Shadow, Levanta, S4, and Mercy's Feet. I mean, we could talk for lengths on and about them. I mean, Temple just sticking to the ball from start to finish, did not adjust at all on the maps, did not have to, had a standout performance so consistently, harassing the backline, keeping up the pressure, being able to stay in the fray despite any attempt of CC coming through, was able to prove himself map after map after map. Desert Shadow, beautiful performance across the board, holding his own on the Tracer against Curse, as well as bringing out the hit scan when required. Really, really well done. Levanta dominating the matchup on the Pharah in particular, as well as several others. Just a really flexible player that, again, managed to put the squeeze on the rest of the team. S4, pleasure to watch, whether it be the Zenyatta, the Baptiste, an absolute damage output machine on the flex support, as well as, of course, Mercy's Feet just consistently enabling Levanta, as well as Desert Shadow in some instances, to get that additional value throughout the matchup. Really, really good execution there overall by Theos Tavern, and a well-deserved 4-1 finish. All right, let's see. Gonna have to get a little bit of feedback. So initially there was some intention about potential interviews towards the finish. Not 100% sure how we're gonna proceed with this. Gonna have to get a little bit of a shot of whether there is gonna be an interview and who is gonna hop in for it. Certainly there were a lot of very deserving players, a lot of very powerful standout performances. Also kudos to everybody from Ghost Revived who participated today. Very happy to see that, well, so many people turned out. Very, very well played on the Mercy as well as the Lucio. Was a pleasure to see. Unfortunately, the Brawl not really the winning move today, though. I certainly do enjoy a good Lucio, bringing about the Reinhardt to just everywhere. Unfortunately, the stream apparently ending a little bit unfortunate. Crimson OW saying 3-1. Quite frankly, it is a 4-1 at this point. Theos Tavern locking this one out with another 2-0 win on the control map. Certainly overall in control, just seeming a little bit more confident, and just in general, sort of having that sort of laid-back, kick-back playstyle at Theos Tavern. They give the first cap, they give a little bit of progress, and then they come back with a vengeance. They lock down the point, and they hold on to it with their greedy little claws, and they never give it up again. So powerful performance overall has to be said. Yeah, that said, what can we say? Typical sheep. GG's everything. Levanta out. Well, Levanta out indeed. Congratulations on your win. It was well-deserved. It was well-performed. We're hearing a little bit of a badoop, which is usually an indicator of somebody joining, and that is the illustrious Theos, owner of Theos Tavern, the winning Discord today, as well as the Theos Tavern's team coach. Theos, how you doing? How you feeling about your win today?
Honestly, it was a kind of nail-biting game. There were times when I honestly thought we were gonna lose the round, but even the Dorado game, extremely close. Oh man, Goats, they gave it their all, and it's always nice to see how well they do in games, but I don't know. They play too much of a comp that's several years old at this point. So, but in modern day, I think I'm happy to say that Theos Tavern did well today, and I'm happy. I'm proud of everyone on the team. One thing I wanted to say is just give out a few shout outs to people. I want to shout out Omnitype for making that cool intro for us. He spent the whole week making the music. I want to shout out every single player that played today. Cash, Death Sword, Dresden, Levanta, Mercy Milkers, S4, and Temple. You guys all came in clutch. I'm happy you guys all made it. I'm not sure if you guys I'm not sure how many people know this, but there was a lot of chaos behind the scenes trying to get this team ready for today. But overall, thank you guys for all thank you for participating. Thank you for giving us a chance to compete. It's always a pleasure. It was fun last time, and I guess minor shout out to Kiriko. He wanted a shout out, and shout out to Kemi. Honestly, helped so much today because I was like, busy earlier and came in clutch. And same to all the mods, Artemis as well. Just thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for helping out, and it's a pleasure to play against you guys again. Hopefully, we can have a part 3 of this because we beat you guys at goats the first time. Then you guys beat us at 5v5, and that kind of hurt. But I'm happy we were able to like bring it back.
Hold the L.
Yeah.
Hold that 3-0L. Oh yeah. Woo! I still got that footage, man. I'll gladly upload that to the YouTube.
Go for it, and I'll upload the 4 to 1.
Hey, nothing. Hey, that 3-0 though. That 3-0. Ooh.
If you think about it, right? Yeah, you chose every single map except for that one map. The only map we lost on is the map we chose.
Okay. Hey, you guys did a good job. You had a really good team today. Thanks for playing. Thanks for setting this up. And
Oh yeah, I want to give some shout outs to like the enemy team as well. Oh, if you don't mind if I do that.
Yeah.
Tank div, really good. I don't remember who Mercy was, but people in my chat were like saying that Mercy's near immortal, so good for that as well.
That'd be
same with
very-
Echo. Echo is scary. Yeah, very 10 out of 10 play. Honestly, that that was insane.
I want to apologize for the stream crashing in the last fight, in the last few minutes of the final round. I had no idea what was going on. My computer just completely froze, and yeah, you saw what happened. Sorry for those technical issues, but I hope everybody enjoyed that stream though.
It was amazing. Great production quality. 10 out of 10, honestly. It showed, like, I'm not sure, like, how much you talked about it, but you put a lot of work into getting everything up and running and going smoothly, and it really shows in the final product. Honestly, it's really good.
Hey, wait, you want to show off your theme song again? Hold on, give me 1 second.
Oh, yeah, play it one more time for Omni. I'm not even sure if he's here, but I'll clip it for him.
Here you go. No, I got it. Here you go. It's gonna be playing on stream.
Yeah, Omni made this 10 out of 10. We asked him for like, he offered to make some battle music for the server, and he made an awesome track, and I'm happy we were able to like use it. This will be our new theme song. Thank you to everyone in the server, coaches, players, just everyone showing up and giving support.
Thanks for playing against us, man. I'm down here trying to break the stereotype that we just play only goats. We have some fight in us.
No, I know you guys don't just only play goats. You guys beat us at 5v5 last time.
Yeah. Hey, yo, shout out to Super Gomez. Shout out to Kanoki. Shout out to COFindus for casting this. Shout out to you, Theos. Let's see. Shout out to the mod team, even though. Shout out to the mod team. Oh yeah, shout out to Coach Shiraya for putting the team all together. I love that guy. Known him for like almost 2 years now on Discord. Great guy. Go Survive team that played today. Keep your head up. You guys all played amazing. Curse, you played fucking fantastic. You were a menace. Fucking Texie, thanks for popping off those rip tires, man. I caught every single rip tire you popped, bro. Every time you popped it, it was on you. I would love to do this again, and I hope everybody enjoyed the stream. I really studied. I tried to practice every moment I had, and like all those times I practiced, I did a practice stream. It got us closer to Twitch affiliate. So yeah, I like doing this, like streaming and doing production. That's fun. I was studying like Overwatch League matches and stuff, just trying to prepare, seeing how the professionals do it. Try to go for a cinematic approach. Yeah, and also, you know, the graphics, the music you hear. Also made that stream starting soon. The graphic you saw in the beginning of the stream, I made that. Yeah. Anything else you want to say?
I want to say thank you for putting all the effort in for the stream. It really shows off. And one last thing I want to say is thank you to each and every single person who came and showed up for the watch party. I know we didn't normally do, this time we normally do pugs, and it's not normal pugs, but I want to say thank you to you all for coming.
Yeah. Hey, Hey, yo, man, we gotta do this again.
One more thing I want to say, really quick. I just want to say, Kiriko, Ash, Bunny, L, Ender, Irish, Henji, Rose, Silent, and Sky. Thank you guys for all coming. Thank you, Goats, for hosting. It was always a pleasure. And yeah, good games.
Anytime. Hey, Theos, don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Yo.
No, I'm gonna leave it.
We gotta collab again, man. Let's start a league or something. You know, let's do something big. Like this right here, this little exhibition match we had here. We could turn this into something special, but not just between our servers, but with multiple servers. You know, let's get something.
I mean, if others want to get beat by the tavern, I'm all for it.
Oh no, we're gonna come back and beat you guys. We're gonna come back and beat you guys.
Well, it was. Thank you.
No problem. Hey, yo, COFindus, thanks for hosting again.
Amazing casting.
Yeah, always amazing. Always amazing.
Thanks for having me.
Yo, go
Appreciate
ahead. Yo, COFindus, go ahead and shout out your channel, man.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I mean, if you're listening to this, then you could probably just, click my name in the description of the Twitch title, and yeah, then you can follow me. Or don't. I don't know. It's up to you. Either way, thanks for letting me cast. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great time. Hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll catch you around.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, guys.
Really quick. For anyone in my server, we'll be doing pugs in a bit. So if you want to join, you guys are welcome. Anyone's welcome. Anyone watching,
anybody
welcome.
in chat can go ahead and drop the link to his Discord server in my in the Twitch chat. You have my permission. I won't do anything. Just go ahead and spam it if you want. I'm cool like that. Go for it. All right, I think we're done here. We're all done.
Yep.
Anything else you want to say?
No, that's it. Thank you for the games. It was a pleasure, and thank you for streaming.
All right, guys, take care. Thank you all for coming out. I love doing this. Let's do it again sometime. All right.
Definitely.
All right.